Hello and welcome to today's episode number 2 of my Accutane series, My Progress Timeline. This video is going to answer a very important question. A question I've been dying to ask every single time I ask someone who went through this therapy as well. When did I start seeing some improvements, some results, some actual results? I was so curious and I really wanted to know, okay, when did you see some improvements? When did it start to work? Did it work? How did it work? By the way, this is a snippet of my video timeline for my Accutane series. Maybe you found your question. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's more going to be a memory lane looking back video. I will break down my whole Accutane therapy month by month. I have an Accutane therapy album stored in my cloud. I will just jump right in. Go back to September 2018. Let's go. So just so you know, I have my phone right in front of me. I do see my album, and every single picture I can see, you can see. First, pre-Accutane, the month before I started. Okay, the first picture is one with makeup on. I remember that day very well because I went to the gym. I didn't went to the gym for a long time, to be honest, because I was really insecure and I wanted to really feel a little bit better. So I just slapped some makeup on my face. Then I saw it in the mirror. I really felt bad this day because I truly wanted to go to the gym, but at the same time, it was really hard for me seeing it because in the gym they had mirrors everywhere. Every single time I went past a mirror, I saw myself a teeny tiny bit and I couldn't help myself but always looking into the mirror, and that really made me very insecure. Next picture. Ooh, yeah, I do remember this day very well. This day was on my decision day. Oh, I cried a lot this day. I remember it very, very clearly. As you can see, I really have very red, irritated type of skin. All these 3 pictures that you can see right now, ooh, the 4th one as well. I did have like really pus-filled, super bloody, super painful kind of pimples, and I remember the pain very, very well. I just wasn't anymore able to bear it and to live. I really had very bad feelings on this day and very dark thoughts, to be honest. I was in a really dark place at that day. I tried every tip and trick I could have found online. I asked people, I went to dermatologists, I went to the hospital, I made so many decisions, and yet nothing helped me so far. And Accutane was definitely my last chance, my last resort. So yeah, this was, the pain. You know what? I do think my brain some sort of tries to push away the trauma and the feelings I felt back then, because it's so hard for me sometimes to really acknowledge how much in pain I was back then. But at the same time, I do remember it, but I don't really know the feeling itself, like the state I was in. I remember on this specific day that I was so hopeless. I even had thoughts like, I don't think Accutane is gonna work for me. I also tried a lot of other prescriptions, medications, whatsoever, and nothing really helped me, so why should Accutane help me? Oh, okay. And on that picture, I cried. Yeah, I cried a lot. You know, looking back, I really wish that everyone would have stopped fear-mongering me. Like, everyone would just have stopped to give me some tips and tricks and tell me how bad Accutane is. And now, looking back, I feel like everyone had something to say. Like with everything else, anyone has something to say. But I believe that if you've never been through this situation, first of all, you really don't understand what this feels like. And second of all, you don't even understand the pain and the state these persons are. And third of all, you just cannot relate. Come on. First of all, there were people telling me, oh my God, you look so bad. Just imagine how I looked back then. This state, I was already crying. And people told me literally, yeah, if I do not feel ashamed going outside into the city, for real. One part that makes me sad about humanity nowadays, I really felt so beaten up and I felt like there's no hope, but there is hope. There is hope. If you see this right now and you have a similar state or a worse state than I was, there is hope. There is hope. Trust me. I know it doesn't make your situation better right now, but I can tell you, it's worth it to just pull through. Your life is precious. Pull through, baby. You can do it. I started my Accutane therapy in September. So my boyfriend took some shots in the balcony, pure sunlight, to just document the state I was in when I took my first Accutane pill. I think they're in between like for 2.5 weeks because I had to do some blood work after decision day. I had to wait for the results. This was a really crazy day. Oh my god, it's so crazy for me to see these pictures because I really didn't thought this was going to help me, to be honest. I really didn't thought this is going to be something that's going to help me, but I remember my boyfriend cheering me up very much. He was like, this is going to work, just have some patience, just, you know, don't lose hope. It's gonna work out. And after my dermatologist also told me the same, I really tried to gain some new hope from deep within. I really tried to channel everything I have, every strength I have, and to just push through and to just be optimistic for the first time in years. That really helped me so much. I remember that. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say on the first day of taking that medication that it's not going to work out. I'm not gonna like be miserable every single morning. I'm gonna be like, this is going to work. I will stand up and I will give my best to just gain my life back, and no matter what's going to happen, I don't want to live a miserable life. So I was like, okay, I need to change my attitude, I need to change my mental state, I need to change my life no matter what's going to happen. And yes, it's painful, but I have to have some basic trust in that medication, otherwise nothing would have changed and I would be just in a very miserable place. So as you can see, I really had a lot of pus-filled kind of pimples. I will also check my papers, and because I had a diagnosis what type of acne I actually have, the hospital and my dermatologist and the chief physician had to think about it. They actually had to think about it a lot, what kind of acne I have. And maybe you also have something similar. It was just crazy. Okay, I see. Next stage. This. Oof boy. Okay, a week after taking Accutane. 7 days. The initial breakout. I don't know if you ever heard this term, but it's very usual. It's very normal and usual that you get some sort of initial breakout. This means that after taking the medication, like everything gets out of your skin. Your skin is going to get crazy, but you can also see it positively. You can say, okay, it does really work. It does something on my body, but at this time, this was really hard. Let me tell you, this initial breakout wasn't a joke. Some people don't have an initial breakout, but I wasn't one of the lucky ones. So as you can see, I had like all of a sudden my whole face got this really big pimples. They're torturing me. They were so painful. I wasn't even able to sleep on the side. I'm usually someone that sleeps, you know, right on the side of the face. And I really wasn't able to do it. I was sleeping like Dracula, like this. And I tried to hold it together because every single time something touched my face, it hurt like deeply. And oh yeah, can you see my chin? Can you see like this whole area? Ooh, okay. You know what's crazy? Acne is a real, like a true skin disease. And it's nothing disgusting. I felt like a lot of people were like, oh, this is so disgusting. Oh, acne. Yeah, you're so unhygienic. Hey, yo, let me tell you. I was more hygienic than some other people. I was clean AF. I was hygienic. I always washed my face. I never touched my face. I was really getting strong in the game, like being very clean about my skin. I feel like I would never ever judge myself the same way other people did. Like, let me tell you, I would never judge a person that has this type of skin disease. This looks just painful. I would be like, are you okay? Can I do something nicely for you? Do you want to get out and have a nice coffee? I don't know, but I would never ever think about putting someone down. This is honestly something that just makes me incredibly angry, because I feel like this is a true skin disease. It has nothing to do with being unhygienic, has nothing to do with being in any sort of lazy, because let me tell you, every person that has acne knows he has acne, and that person is putting work into that condition. Trust me. 7 days later, I had an internship in court here in Germany. And I remember we were a group, and it was the first day of going there, and my initial breakout was wild in on my skin. I had this like crazy, you saw it. I was so insecure. First day, I woke up at 5 a.m. and I went to the bathroom straight. And I saw my face. I can see it right now. I would go there and I will take this pus-filled pimples. I will take this acne kind of state I am in. I'm gonna take this initial breakout. I'm a warrior. I can do this. And I will take it and I will just go there gracefully. And everyone that has something to say and is gonna make me feel bad about my skin condition, just leave. If you have a problem, go away. I was so fed up with feeling bad about my skin condition that I was fighting against the whole time. So this was really crazy. So I slapped on some makeup. I felt myself on this day, and yes, I made these unflattering pictures because I was like not really into the selfie mode. I was just, okay, how does it look right now in the sun, like in daylight? And as you can see, it was brutal. It was brutal. I don't know, I really felt like I want to take this gracefully now. I'm done with hiding. I'm done with like feeling ashamed for myself. I'm so damn done with like all this type of guilt I felt that people have to look at me. I mean, what the hell did I even think? This is perfectly fine. And if you look this way, it is fine. So Initial Breakout really took me to a place where I felt like, okay, I'm gonna rock this pimple right now. This was my thought. I'm gonna rock this, and no matter what's going to happen, I'm just gonna go through this. This is October. As you can see, the Initial Breakout was kind of some sort calming down a bit. I had lots of pimples, new pimples were coming up, and I felt like all these whiteheads, they really just broke through the skin. And that's what happened to me throughout these whole weeks. It just, everything was some sort of inflamed, everything was red, everything was kind of like really pushing through my skin, especially on my forehead. What I definitely noticed throughout the first month is that the redness calmed down. And that was such a blessing. What I also remember at this time is I never touched a pimple. No matter how much pus-filled pimples I had, I didn't even touch them. I just let them grow. Sometimes when I did my nighttime skincare routine, they just opened by themselves, and then the pus came out and I washed it out, but I didn't press, I didn't do anything, I didn't pick or whatsoever. I just let the skin do its thing. And I think this is one of the reasons why I'm not very scarred on my face, and this is one of the best advices I can give to everyone. Okay, let's see what's going on in November. As you can see, I had a lot of hyperpigmentation, post-inflammatory dark spots, pimple spots from all these Initial Breakout pimples. As you can see, I feel like the skin really calmed down to some extent. I really feel that got better. Oh yeah, that one. Can you see this one, like right here? That hurt. That hurt so much because it was really so deep down in my skin, and there was never pus that came out. It was just underneath my skin and it just stayed there the whole time. It was some sort of cyst. Oh, it was really bloody sometimes when I made my skincare routine, when the pus came out. Can you see all these scars? It took a long time till I got rid of them, but it worked. It worked. Oh yeah, it was like, oh my god, it's really painful. Beginning of December, there were only a few pimples popping up, especially in the beginning, but throughout December, you can already see a huge improvement. And this is a video where you can see, I really did see results pretty early, I have to be honest. It really got very well very early. Okay, this is January, the end of January. Redness really calmed down, pimples not showing up anymore. I only had like 3 or 4 pimples that were truly active, but the rest was really calm. I only had like this really stubborn area right on my cheeks, which was a really weak area for me because I always tend to have a lot of pimples there. Okay, but then as you can see, I saw some results. Okay, I don't have any picture of February. I'm so sorry, must have deleted it. Okay, let's see March. Oh yeah, March. Can you see March? Okay, I saw some results in here. This was really a month I remember very well because it was 1 month before my boyfriend's birthday, and I just wanted to also look pretty. As you can see, it really looked nice. I was so happy. I cried that day, but of a different reason, to be honest. Had nothing to do with my pimple. As you can see, my hyperpigmentation got really good. It really got nice. Well, I didn't have any better picture for April. This is the only picture I found, but it really does show that I didn't have any cysts anymore. My skin was really calm. I only had powder in that time on my face. I never had foundation on my skin. I always only had powder on my face because I was scared to irritate my skin because it was so sensitive. Oh, May. Okay, this is a little weird for me, but these are the pictures I made in May, and I remember that I only had this powder product and a little bit of concealer, like putting up the game. It was the first time after all these years that I put on like makeup and I felt nice, and I made these pictures, and as you can really see, I didn't use a filter in these pictures. I really had this nice even skin, but of course I put on concealer and all the hyperpigmentation. That's why it looks so flawless. It was such a nice time. Okay, let's go into June. Okay, no pictures in June, sorry. Okay, July. Ooh, July. Okay, as you can see, I did had some whiteheads going on in July, but I know the reason, because the reason was that I ate something that I was allergic to, and I was also a lot in the sun and I sweated like crazy, and that was all some sort of like a combination of it all. And when I stopped eating the stuff back then, I also got rid of it immediately, and it wasn't that bad. Okay, let's get into August. This was on my birthday, 1 year later after decision day. Looking at these pictures, I really, you know what, I have nothing more than just gratitude. You know, when I look at these pictures, get a little emotional here. I do remember how I felt on this day. After 365 days almost of having one of the worst days of my life and one of the most painful days in my life, and then seeing these pictures, I'm just so incredibly thankful for just overcoming my fear. And I don't want to advertise this drug, not even a bit. It is a severe drug and you should be really aware of if you really want to take it or not. You know, back then I felt so miserable and I felt like I have no escape out of the situation. It only got worse and worse and worse, and I felt like no one and nothing could help me. I was just so scared of it, and having the dermatologist that helped me through this, and to really just keep up the hope and to challenge myself again and to come back to life. I remember having one of the most beautiful birthdays I ever had. I am utterly grateful that I made it and I didn't give up. As I said, I was really in a very dark place back then. Overcoming this very dark place was probably one of the hardest challenges of my life. So then I stopped taking Accutane. A dermatologist saw me and he was asking me if I want to stop, and I was really scared to stop. I was really scared of relapsing and having to do it again and going through it again, because I do have some severe side effects, and I'm going to tell you that in another episode. In all my next episodes, I'm going to discuss my side effects and what I did and how to navigate through them. Stay tuned. I hope you found some useful information in this one. I hope I can help you with this video. If I can help you, you that are just sitting right now in front of this video, I just want to tell you that it means incredibly a lot to me that you know that you're not alone.